A giant inflatable miles in front of a packed crowd, Peyton Manning. It was all part of Back Together Saturday. Hello, and thank you for joining us for our Broncos training camp daily recap. I'm Phil Milani alongside Nick Ferguson and Aric DiLalla. Guys, the crowd was packed, the energy levels were up today, and it was the longest practice that we've seen so far.
Yeah, longest practice we've seen so far, but there was a lot of quality work that the guys were able to get this week. And today was awesome because this is the first time a lot of fans laid eyes on this team. And I know during the week those guys were working, and Saturday proved to be back together. Saturday it was, and some extraordinary plays from guys, especially in the secondary.
Yeah, what did you see from Pat Surtain today? I mean, he was a standout.
I mean, this guy, I think it's just a matter of every day you now have to expect he's going to do something remarkable. It seems like the Broncos offense cannot complete a pass when they look in his direction. Justin Houghton joked, I go up to him every day and I say, please let us complete just one pass. He's that good. I mean, whether it's against Cortland Sutton, Tim Patrick, he has the athleticism, Nick, but he's also, it seems like he just knows where to be. He's got the mental part down too. He's going to be a top guy in this league. It seems like it's just a matter of time.
Nick, when you played, obviously there was a guy out there, Champ Bailey. What similarities do you see between a guy like Champ and someone like Pat?
Well, the biggest thing is that competitive drive. Just like you said, Coach Allen said, well, we can't complete a pass. Champ had that same type of attitude. If you caught a pass on him on one possession, he was coming back to make a play. And then when you look at the instincts, the size, the speed of both guys, Champ Bailey and PS2, to me, they both go hand in hand. And this is why when I watched him practice, and I told him this today, you remind me so much of Champ Bailey, the way that you practice and attention to detail. It's always aggressive, always competitive. And Aric, I should correct you for one second, one little second. I mean, everyone's talking about maybe at some point we're going to look at PS2 as being a top corner. No, I'm going to say he's the top corner in this league right now.
Well, and we heard Ejiro Evero talking about Jalen Ramsey, who he coached last year, comparing him to Pat Surtain. Here's what the defensive coordinator had to say after practice.
I don't think Pat or myself are too worried about that. We're just worried about him being his very best self. And, the great thing about Pat is that, I don't know if I've been around the corner, and Jalen was a heck of a worker as well. But, Pat is every bit as equal in terms of just coming out and working every day and looking to get better.
Nick, when you have a guy who can just shut down a player like a Champ or like a PS2, what does that do for the rest of the secondary, the rest of the defense?
Well, if you coach Evero, you're loving this, and you talk about Jalen Ramsey just a while ago, that means you can shut down one side of the field and you can do so many other things with your safeties. You could bring down Justin Simmons, you could bring down K-Jack. You can now blitz those guys off the edge, but also Ronald Darby's in that secondary. So he's getting tired of hearing everybody talk about PS2. He's like, well, what about me? He made a great play today. I believe it was a pick six. But this is what happens when you have a guy like PS2 on your team. He's going to force every single guy in that secondary to think about how they play and being more aggressive.
We know the defense is looking good. Let's talk about one phase of the game that we don't talk about enough, special teams. Aric, what have we seen from this unit, especially at punt returner?
Yeah, I think Montrell Washington's a guy who looks like the early favorite there. Of course, he's got to go out and prove it in the preseason during those live reps, but it seems like they're getting some good work in. Obviously, that's an area of this team that has to be better. Everybody talks about the offense needing to be better, the defense needing to maintain its standard. But if the special teams unit is not better from where it's been the last few years, this team is not going to get where it wants to go. I like the energy, the enthusiasm from Dwayne Stukes. We talk about Coach Hackett's energy. Dwayne Stukes is at another level. And so far, we're seeing good things from that special teams unit.
With all respect to Dwayne Stukes, it seems like maybe there's a couple screws loose. I mean, this guy, but all special teams coordinators are kind of like that, huh, Nick?
Well, he's not just the special teams coordinators, but to play this game, you have to be a little loosey-goosey, but on special teams, definitely for sure. Listen to Coach Stukes speak. He reminds me of a guy that early on in my career who was just like that, wired the same way, but he got the most out of his special team unit, Mike Westhoff with the New York Jets. This is a unit, just like you said, no one has really thought too much about it. They haven't really contributed that much, but this is a unit that definitely needs to contribute. And Coach Stukes, he said it himself. Now, not everyone can start. There's only 11 guys on offense, 11 guys on defense, but there are several guys who are on the bubble. They can make this team and make a huge impact on special teams.
What's the mindset when the ball's in the air? Just catch the ball, try to score a touchdown. Dwayne Stukes talked a little bit about what he wants from his returner.
I mean, that's a tough question because I have high expectations for him, right? I never go into the year saying, you know, hopefully we get 5 yards to return, hopefully we just catch the ball safely and give it back to the offense. No, I want to score. Like, I want our guys to have the confidence in the guys who are blocking for him to say, you know what, every time I catch this ball, I have the opportunity to score. So when we have a meeting prior to the season, there will be laid out goals for the punt return team.
See what I'm talking about? A couple screws loose there. There's like a slight pause before he answers a question and a little bit of a laugh. You don't know what you're going to get there. As we wind down this show here, Peyton Manning at practice. Yesterday we talked about alumni coming back. It's a little different when Peyton Manning's out there, huh?
Well, when Peyton comes back, it's like everyone ears perks up, especially if you're a young guy, if you've never been around Peyton before. But that's that type of energy that a guy of his caliber brings. And then knowing as though that connection between Peyton and Russell, I mean, that's probably made Russell play a lot better, you know, this practice as well.
He's got a lot to live up to because, you know, Peyton came in here, had 4 of the best seasons that we've seen in this franchise's history, and now people are kind of comparing Russ to him a little bit, huh?
Yeah, people, they're going to try to do that, but to me, each quarterback is entirely different. Peyton had a different style from Russell. Russell's a little more mobile. Both of those quarterbacks are cerebral, but at the end of the day, you always want to look at, from an offensive standpoint, defensive standpoint, do I believe in my quarterback? And right now, both sides of the ball and all those fans, I think it was 7,000, they all believe in Russell.
Russell, a lot more mobile than Peyton.
Yes. Good thing you said it.
See, I was listening.
You said it.
Eric, we did see an injury out there today.
Yeah, that's right. Unfortunately, K'Wan Williams pulled up there toward the end of practice, was covering Montreal, Washington. Nathaniel Hackett said they're going to evaluate him. Nothing yet. Looked like some sort of leg injury, so we'll have to monitor that. Did look like Greg Dulcich did some walkthrough today, so that's a step in the right direction for him.
A good thing that there's a day off tomorrow, maybe a little bit of healing going on for some of these guys out there. We won't be here tomorrow. We'll have a day off, but we'll be back on Monday for day 5 of Broncos training camp. All right, that's going to do it for us. For Aric DiLalla and Nick Ferguson, I'm Phil Milani. Thanks for watching our daily recap of Broncos training camp.